Hi, and welcome to I don't have a proper camera setup, so I'm scared for my phone right now. You are balanced against my Christmas tree with a candle keeping you upright and then on top of a packet of tissues. That's where you are right now. I will put a photo in at the end of the video if I can be bothered to edit. I am E.M. Harding or Emma Mort Harding, depending on how you know me. I recently published this bad girl. This is Moonsitting. It is a novella that I self-published, I designed, and it's available on Amazon, and it has a 5-star rating, and you should go buy it. Go buy it. I'm going to put it down now so it doesn't interfere with the mic quality, because this is the 4th time I've done this, and anyway. I am making this video because basically I need something to hold me accountable. Publishing Moonsitting was a dream come true. There is no better feeling than holding your own book in your hands. But basically it also made me realise just how many ideas I have in the pile lined up. And I know for some authors that's going to sound like, boo-hoo, I've got so many ideas. But that's not what I mean. Basically, I have been working on one novel called The End of Atlas for years. It's been in the process since 2013, and I've still not finished a first draft. And it's a personal story, and I need to finish it. It's just an idea that I have to get out. But it's causing this huge backlog. So after Moonsitting, I really want to work on Moonsitting 2, but End of Atlas is in the way. I already have ideas for Moonsitting 2, I already have cover ideas and section break ideas for Moonsitting 2, I know how I'm going to structure it. I've even started writing a couple of scenes for it, but I need to finish The End of Atlas. After Moonsitting 2, I'm fairly certain that that book is not going to round off the world in a particularly good way, so I will undoubtedly need a Moonsitting 3, which I don't have any ideas for yet, but it's there, it needs to be done. Another idea that I've had in the works for a while has been a book called Intersection. If you've been on my blog, you might have seen it. It's basically, the premise was that most of it would be set on Earth in reality, but it would have these little jumps back and forth to a kind of more sci-fi fantasy world, mainly because the main character or one of the main characters is a writer, and that is the kind of thing she writes. So it would be like, some of it is more contemporary fiction, some of it has these sci-fi fantasy elements. And I think it's a really fun idea, and I really want to get around to it. And then finally, my 5th thing on the list is a book that I wrote when I was a teenager, just finishing college, starting university, called Villain. And I drafted a whole novel. It was 73,000 words. I was so proud of it. And then I looked at it and went, this can never see the light of day. It was a book that I wanted to edit, but I couldn't see how to edit. And I basically felt like I would need to rewrite most of it. And now, kind of having gone through my bachelor's, gone through a master's, having worked with other writers, figured out a bit more about how I like to write, the kind of thing I want to write, and how I like to tell a story, I think I could do something much more interesting. And you know, if you've read Moonsitting at all, you know that I like to kind of bounce back and forth in time periods, and sort of piece together little bits and bobs, and create a picture that it's almost like making the reader solve a puzzle. And I think for crime fiction that would work so well, which is why I kind of want to go back and rewrite that and see what I can do with it. So yeah, that's a backlog of 5 things. And the biggest thing that is holding me back is finishing the end of Atlas. Yeah, so as I say, I started that in 2013. So we're now getting on for 7 years I've been working on it. It's a fairly kind of personal story, not in terms of like being sort of autobiographical or anything like that, but it came from a place where like I was in a bad mind frame and I had this sort of thought bubble up, like, what if I could just make people do what I want them to do? And immediately I went, no, that's a terrible idea. And then this book came out of it. And it's kind of playing with what would happen if you had that kind of ability. And, the, you know, how would it affect your relationships? And what kind of a life would you have if you could just do anything you want, effectively? That currently stands at almost 95,000 words. I got over the 94,000 word hurdle last night, but I think the first draft will come in at about 120,000. My plan is to try and finish the first draft by the end of January. As you can tell from my facial expression, I am not convinced I can do this. But I'm slightly more convinced I can do this than by the plan that I had last night, which was to try and finish it by the end of December. And then I realised, wait a minute, you're trying to give yourself 30,000 words to write in less than 30 days, and you suck at NaNoWriMo, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, so I think sort of trying to do about 500 words a day is more feasible for me. I've done it in the past. I've managed to go sort of like a month or so doing a fairly, you know, good rate of that. But yeah, so that is the plan. I've kind of got to finish planning out the end of Atlas, because normally what I do is I write a bit, then I plan a bit, then I write a bit, then I plan a bit. So I'm getting to the stages where now all of my little puzzle pieces are starting to slot together, and there's a few more sort of climax moments happening. So I've kind of got to figure out what order I want the scenes to come in, and then I've just got to work scene to scene and plan my way through it and hopefully come up with a first draft by the end of January. That's the goal we're setting. I'm still not convinced by it. But yeah, so this is to hold me accountable. Hopefully I'll do it. If I don't do it, then I kind of feel like I will still have a fairly sizable chunk of writing by the end of January. And then hopefully I can finish the end of Atlas by, you know, within the first 6 months of the year. But we're aiming for the end of January. That's the whole situation. That's what we're doing. End of January, it's going to be done. Oh, my voice is going. I've been ill. So we're going to leave it there so that I don't completely lose my voice. And yeah, ciao.